We're leading the world in building new data centers and new semiconductor and chip manufacturing facilities and new capacity for AI. And we're unleashing all of the forms, literally all forms of energy and natural gas and oil to clean, beautiful coal and safe, reliable nuclear power.
President Trump telling the country there is an intense and growing need for energy, electricity in particular. The president is on a mission to make America energy independent again. So the nation's U.S. Department of Energy is giving a $1 billion loan to a private company, and that will help 3 Mile Island to reopen with the goal of bringing cheaper electricity to millions of people. However, for some in the audience, you may remember why you know the name 3 Mile Island, and some of you were skeptical. I wanted to find out, is it safe to open it again, among other things. My Faulkner Focus team and I were given an exclusive tour of that massive plant that gained intense national attention after a partial meltdown of one of its reactors 46 years ago.
There was an accident today at a nuclear power plant near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's a bad one of the worst.
On March 28, 1979, there was a partial meltdown at the 3 Mile Island nuclear complex in Middletown, Pennsylvania. It released a small amount of radioactive material into the air, destroying the Unit 2 reactor and leaving the plant with a single functioning reactor, Unit 1. It was the most serious nuclear power accident in U.S. history and a major setback for the industry, causing project cancellations and creating public distrust.
When the plant's operating, there's a nice good hum that you get from...
Yeah, I'm thinking you want more than a helmet. You need some covers for your ears. It's probably pretty loud.
Fox News got an exclusive tour of the plant with Energy Secretary Chris Wright and Constellation Energy CEO Joe Dominguez. What many people don't know is that Unit 1 remained operational until 2019, when owners shuttered the plant, blaming competition with natural gas and renewables in the energy market and a lack of state subsidies to remain profitable. In short, politics.
These sort of bad policies on energy not only forced the premature shutdown of a reliable source of electricity and the jobs that went with it, but those bad policies also drove up electricity prices.
Last year, 3 Mile Island burst back into the headlines as the face of a potential nuclear revival. Microsoft and Constellation Energy, which owns the plant, announced a 20-year power purchase agreement to restart the reactor. That would help the tech giant Microsoft power its artificial intelligence and cloud data centers with carbon-free, reliable energy.
What we're doing right now, by accelerating this, is accelerating a force that will drive down electricity prices and help make sure America leads in the AI race against China. AI is going to be transformative technology, but we can't be second place. If China is well ahead of the United States in AI, they will become economically and militarily the dominant power in the world.
And just last month, the Energy Department announced it will be giving a $1 billion loan to Constellation to help restart the Unit 1 reactor.
How important is it for the government to be part of all of this?
Constellation and Microsoft are the real players here. Microsoft is the buyer. They want this electricity from this power plant. Constellation's the operator of this power plant. We're just helping enable that happen a little bit faster.
They shut down that one reactor that had the partial meltdown. Tell me what happened from that point until it closed in 2019. It was viable.
Oh, it had a tremendous safety record, high operating performance, was truly a great plant that honestly would run for another century, if not the distortion in the electricity markets began under President Obama and Biden. They just wanted to subsidize and be like Europe and pay people to build solar panels and windmills, and ultimately crushed our electricity markets that drove reliable plants with decades of life left out of business. Terrible.
They expect to have the plant back up and running by 2027.
It's sat for 5 years. So you parked it for 5 years. How did you keep it so that it's safe to just restart it again?
Well, what we're doing is we're doing all these inspections and testing to make sure the plant is ready to restart safely and reliably. So every valve, every heat exchanger, the generator like we'll see here on my left, we've pulled it out. We're doing the maintenance, the electrical testing to certify to ourselves and ultimately the Nuclear Regulatory Commission it's safe to restart.
We're inside the control room.
Nuclear may be the future, but some things are still stuck in the past.
Everybody is not going to miss that this is like 1970s kitchen green.
Everybody walks into one of these and they look, oh boy, this looks like all 1970s hardware, all the dials. What they miss is that we've supplemented all of that equipment with state-of-the-art computer controls that are now performing functions faster and detecting trends in the power plant faster than we ever could. When we restart the plant, it's going to be the first plant that we're going to restart with AI technology embedded.
And with a new beginning, a new name, Crane Clean Energy Center, and more jobs for the local and regional communities.
We've already brought 500 folks back. We got 500 additional contractors, so we've got 1,000 people on site. That'll grow to 3,400 people that will be involved in the restart here.
This is a pivotal moment in the nuclear renaissance. You know, we built a lot of plants quickly. We haven't done a lot for the last few decades. But the restart of this plant, like this, we're talking about it today, 18 months. This is going to be on power and data centers and lowering electricity prices in Pennsylvania. So this is the tip of the spear of the nuclear renaissance in the United States.
The Trump administration is adamant. This is a good thing for all of America.
These tremendous buildings that have become kind of iconic on the landscape. What do you see when you look at this? How do you explain this to people?
To me, I see industrial America. I see strength. I see optimism. I think God bless the country that can build something that gigantic that can last for a century or more.
Secretary Wright told me the goal is to bring back online and fully operate other plants. So this is the test, as he said, in this renaissance and revival of nuclear. Those other plants suffered a lack of subsidies to renewals as well that are not providing us with the sustainability that we had hoped as a country. And of course, politics are always involved. For example, Pennsylvania gets about 196 days of sun, so solar alone wouldn't get the job done. America needs nuclear, natural gas, and coal, the secretary told me. The Faulkner Focus will stay on the story of energizing America, so you know what's coming.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.